Now we have with us Dr.M.S.Shunmugam for the next session, and I request our director, Dr. M. Kandababu, to welcome our guest with a fruit basket.
Thank you. Very good morning to you all. I'll follow slightly a different pattern of presentation. Anyway, you will know as it goes. Let me first of all congratulate all the research scholars who have joined Anna University. It's a very safe, you are in safe hands and you should be happy. And why I have projected this IIT is that I no longer work in IIT, I retired, but my students who graduated from IIT, who got PhD degree, they are all here in Anna University. Kandababu is one such person. There are many more. In fact, they have also in turn trained other faculty members. So we have, if you see this, there is a lamp. One lamp can light up several lamps. That's the basis of any education. So I am happy from IIT, it's flowing down, and now I am in Anna University. Okay, now I find that there are MS scholars, PhD scholars, we call them as scholars, no longer students, because you are supposed to be scholastic people. How many, also I understand that you are all from different disciplines, starting from humanities, social science, engineering, etc. So, to pitch at a certain way, I need to interact with you. Let me start. How many of you worked after bachelor degree? How many of you have worked in any industry or in any organization after bachelor's degree? Okay, after bachelor's degree. How much of that you learned in your bachelor's degree you used in your profession? I am not going to ask you which industry you work. How much of what you learned in your bachelor's degree you used? Any figure? 30%. Very high. Okay. Almost everything. Very positive response. Okay. I'll give a small incident. I worked in IIT Bombay also as a faculty member. During the get together of faculty and students, one past student was asked to give his impression. He was, Russian. IIT Bombay is started by Russian collaboration. So many people have that thinking, different thinking also. He said only 4% of what we learn is useful in professional life. Everybody was shocked. We were all teachers trying to give as much as possible. The person who is working in an industry comes up saying that only 4% is used in their day-to-day working. And one senior professor by name Somasundaram, he was my mentor also in IIT Bombay, he stood up and said, tell me which 4% you are using. We will teach you only that 4%. Okay. The student was stunned because the 4% comes from different 100%. It may be one here, one there, one there. So put together it is 4%. It's really difficult to teach exactly that 4% because it's a variability. Concept of variability. We try to give you as much as possible in your undergraduate program, but the requirement varies. What is actually used, we cannot really have a deterministic model. It varies. So this is one thing I want to start to emphasize. Same thing, those who did master's degree, you must have worked somewhere. There's nobody who did master's degree here? Yeah. You worked in industry? How much of that you learned in your masters have been useful? Huh? 10%. See, now from 30%, it has come down to 10%. Okay? Now, I am not trying to criticize, just trying to get the facts that what you learn is more. What is that you are trying to practice or use it in professional life is much less. And there is a variability. As you go through these programs, undergraduate program, you are given a curriculum, you studied everything, and there was an examination where it's a common question paper, common syllabus, common question paper, you write. Depending on what the examiner feels that you have observed, you are given marks. Am I correct? Or you got the marks some other way? Okay. You wrote exams. Okay. There is a fixed curriculum. In master's program, what is the difference between undergraduate program and master's program? Is it an extension of bachelor's program? Or is it different? Again, curriculum, but few specializations are taught to you. You are trying to go deeper into it. But syllabus, you have to confine to the syllabus, curriculum, and there is a common question paper. All of you write this common question paper. Yes? Am I correct? The way I have understood. But when you join your research program, what is the difference? Coursework. There is a variation. What is the variation? There is no syllabus. You may do coursework. There is no syllabus, prescribed syllabus. This is what you have to learn. There is no common examination. It's not like all of you are given one topic for thesis. You submit the thesis and somebody grades it and given a degree if you get 50% more or more. No. Every research work thesis is individualistic, specific. So, from a common program, you have now come down to specific programs. Have you understood this? And there is no curriculum. That means it's open-ended. It's so open, you are the master. Nobody, you may have a guide, but still you are the master. You decide how to play this game. It's a different game. This open game is not that easy to play. If there's a fixed curriculum, read and reproduce is easy. But you are getting into a different domain where it's so open. First time you feel you are left in a forest. Completely clueless. Am I correct? You are in the induction program. You must have now by this time guessed what is there going to be. What is there in future. You are the master. You make your own path. You make your own work. So that is the difference between the undergraduate program and postgraduate program and research program. You are all in research programs. The variability is so much, one thesis is not like other thesis. If you say, he submitted that thesis, got a degree, PhD degree, I will also submit the same thesis, get the degree. How can you deny? Will you get? Do you think you will get a degree by submitting the same thesis? No, it has to be different. So, variability is there from one thesis to another thesis. So, you have variability in terms of inputs and you also have variability in terms of output. Then, how can I go ahead with this research program? You need, I will call research guides or supervisors. And I usually call them as supervisor, which is little bit not up to that mark. Research guide is much better term. That's my feeling. Supervisor, building supervisors are there, electrical supervisors are there. There are many supervisors. In canteen also you have supervisors. So I would like to call them as technical or technically research guides. What are they supposed to do? Like you have variability in terms of research capabilities, they also have variability. They are not molded in the same thing. Even if there's a mold, same mold is used, you get variability. The term variability I like very much because in our field of manufacturing, I belong to manufacturing, we always say that we can't produce one product identical to another product. There will be a difference. Okay. On face of it, you say it's an IC chip, but its performance varies. So we live with variability, we live happily with variability. If there is no variability, it's like everything will be same, uniform. There will be one lipstick color everywhere. I don't think people like it. Or one ribbon color, ribbon, people don't wear it nowadays. Anyway, okay. So this is where you are in. Now, research guides, they take you to the research program, and there is again a variability there, capabilities are different. Some people say, I'll get you a degree in 3 years. Some people will say, take this thesis of your previous person, this is what exactly you have to do. He worked with X material, you have to do with Y material. Okay. What is the variability? Change of material. And the degree is not ME or BE or BSc or MSc, it's a PhD or MS by research. What is a PhD? What does PhD mean? Doctor of Philosophy. What is a philosophy? What is the meaning of? In fact, I was told that there are few foreign students who don't like to be told in Tamil. Are there? Or they have gone. One, who is the other foreign student? International student? Okay, so I'll try to minimize my Tamil words. Okay, but one or two may come. Pardon me, but it will not be fully Tamil oriented, because I studied in Tamil language and all my inspirations come from my mother tongue. It doesn't matter. So, Doctor of Philosophy. Philosophy means what? Non-engineering? Is there a philosophy in engineering? Let me put a question. Science is philosophy. Then call it as a PhD, a degree in science. Philosophy has much deeper meaning. There must be what in Tamil we call Tattvam. Philosopher is a Tattvajnani. Pardon me for a couple of Tamil words, others may understand. What is that Tattvam? What is that philosophy? Every discipline has a philosophy. In fact, when somebody says, I am a doctorate degree holder, what is the new philosophy you brought out? They will start saying that I did this, I did this. That's not philosophy. What is that you did? Experiments, it's not philosophy. What is the underlying principle? Great philosophers were there. Greek philosophers, I don't want to name them, you know. There are philosophers, Western philosophers, Indian philosophers also. And Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was a philosophy person. His classes were well attended, Presidency College. From neighboring class, they will come and sit, even though they don't understand. The way he brings out the philosophy of life, something unique. Anyway, I will stop with this. That means you are aiming for something higher where you are trying to get into the underlying principle. That is exactly the degree that you are going to get. Okay. Now, with this, I have interacted with you enough. Hopefully, you are in tune with me. I'll ask the organizers to introduce me.
Dr.M.S.Shunmugam, a first generation graduate, obtained his BE Mechanical degree from the College of Engineering Gindi, Chennai in 1971. An MSc Engineering degree from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, with an intense industrial exposure, made him a full-fledged manufacturing professional. He received his PhD for his work in metrology from IIT Madras, which had the state-of-art facility of a German university. He retired as Professor Emeritus from IIT Madras. Dr. M.S.Shunmugam has a vast experience in academics for nearly 5 decades, which includes 3 years stint at IIT Bombay and a sabbatical assignment at Michigan Technology University. His interests include manufacturing, metrology, and allied areas. He has guided 50 research scholars, out of which 34 PhD and 16 MS, and 220 project students, 135 MTech and 85 BTech students. He has carried out retainer consultancy, industrial and sponsored projects for a total values of approximately 6.5 crores. He set up micro manufacturing facility and played a key role in setting up the AMADA Sheet Metal Research Center at IIT Madras. His passion to serve differently abled persons is evident from the projects carried out and the publication in assistive devices. He was nominated as a member of Board of Governors, the highest administrative body of IIT Madras. Dr. M.S.Shunmugam was ranked as the top 2% world ranking of world scientists from India, Stanford University Database 2020 and 2023. He is a fellow of the Institution of Engineers, member of the Institute of Manufacturing Engineers, and American Society of Mechanical Engineers. He has 3 patents and a total of 337 publications, out of which 163 are in international journals. He has received Best Paper Awards in 1986, 1990, 2012, 2018, and 2023. He received a Citation of Excellence in 2002 and a Gold Medal from the Institution of Engineers India in 1994. He is an editor of a Springer Journal, International Journal of Advanced Manufacturing Technology. He is also a recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016 for his contributions to manufacturing. Recently, he was bestowed with Distinguished Alumnus Award by College of Engineering Gindi for his exemplary stature and contribution in the category of renowned academicians. We welcome you, sir.
Okay, that's all about me. I think my talk is over. Anyway, you can go to introduction. I wanted to be slightly different, that's why. Okay. No, first page. Yeah. Actually, the topic given to me is a little fancy topic, art of technical writing. But I just made it into a simple how to write a technical paper. But if you write a technical paper, good paper, you will not get into the shadow rejection of paper. Okay. Ultimately, everybody wants a paper to be published, not to get rejected. Am I correct? So, I did not show the emblem, IIT emblem here, because I no longer in IIT. So, right from first slide, I am following certain ethical practices. The ethical practice is, that's why I separated the slide for IIT before to introduce that all our students are here, but now it is me. Okay. So, nobody can take away my professorship or doctor degree earned by me. Okay. I have a pride in that. Next. So, before that, a disclaimer. You have a, okay, right, okay. So, many examples what I may be giving is out of discussion with my students and the research scholars, and outside the classroom as well as in the classroom. And this is important. Any resemblance to any part of whole of work is carried out by other researcher or their publications, only coincidence. You may find something common, but because I am in an editorial position, sometimes people think that I am referring to that paper, this paper, nothing. I don't remember whatever I have handled because it's all in thousands. Okay, so this is my experience. If it is a coincidence, coincidence only. And this presentation is not to criticize, but to really sensitize the young researchers like you, the nuances of research and technical writing. So you can't just write without carrying out a research. Research is a fundamental thing, and how to do research, your guides will be able to tell you. They are all different disciplines. My discipline is, as he has read out, it's manufacturing. Okay. So these are some of the topics. I just put it as a request from organizers, and research work, paper writing, and technical seminars, technical papers, and seminar and technical paper writing, it's all two different games. People think that if you do one stone, you can get 2 mangoes or 3 mangoes. Not so. Every time you need to throw a stone, and thesis preparation, that's all ultimate thing, and ethics. So right from first slide I started with the ethics. What exactly is a publication ethics? And target audience is all you. Hopefully I have indicated properly. Recently indicated students for research program at Anna University. Anyway, since I said I will not get into Tamil version, it's only to say that there are 2 ways of presenting do's and don'ts, and what I am going to present is only do's and don'ts. Okay. For example, when you want to drive, take a driving license or drive in the street, drive safely, follow safety rules. This is all the thing which you have to do. But when it comes to don'ts, there are so many, uncountable. I am just listed few. So going into the don'ts will take me away. And I will try to tell you what to do, and don'ts you can generate because you are very capable, and you will find out how not to do it, and leave it to you. So essential of a good researcher is a research problem. The real crux of the research is a selection of the research problem. Then comes research facility. Okay, you need proper facilities. Without proper facilities, I don't think you can carry out research. But in addition to this, you need a research guide, okay, and proper research guide. Since there is a variability in your capabilities, and you can also expect the research guides also to have variability. Please don't expect them to be exactly ideal. They have certain variability. If you can match, that's a well and good. And one thing about the research program I forgot to tell you, unlike undergraduate or postgraduate program where there are one to many connections, one teacher and several students, here there is a unique thing, he said it's one to one. You and your guide. So that also makes it unique. You may think, what happens if that relation is strained? Don't worry. There are safeguards available as a citizen and as students and research scholars. That should not be your worry. There are ways to overcome. Director research will be able to take care of it. Okay. So, what are the indicators of a successful research? Before you get into the writing, a research guide. In fact, there are guides, or I will call them as babas. Because guide is a very respectable word. There are babas who promise that we will get the degree in 3 years, you will get the publication, you get your degree, but they are not guides. Guide is a lighthouse or a beacon of wisdom, inculcates moral values, ethical values. More than anything, it's the moral value and ethical values you learn from your guide. Okay? And after the degree, if the candidate is able to perform research, and that is the task of the, it's accomplished. The guide has accomplished his mission. If the student starts guiding, if the student stops with that, it's not research guidance. And the research, it's a habit of searching for alternative. If somebody calls, what is research? Trying for, searching for alternatives. Is this possible, or is the other one possible? And irrespective of your area, whether it's a humanities or science or engineering, you are looking for alternatives. And this habit you develop. And more than that, it makes you to think in a structured way, logical way, and systematic way, and execute it. Okay? And it changes your personality as a whole. As you graduated or took a master's degree, when you come out with a degree, PhD degree, your body language, the way your manner, everything will change. And that's a perceptible change you can see. You may not be able to see, but others close by will tell you, hey, you have changed. In fact, people have told me, in my undergraduate program, I never spoke to my friends. I was so silent. Masters also, but now they say you talk too much. Anyway, that's why I'm here before you. Okay? And publication in established journals, okay? Not in predatory journals. Predatory journals, I think you know what I am referring to. In library language, they call predatory. In normal language, they say fake journals, okay? All kinds of, but we call it as predatory journals. But a publication in a reputed journal, if you have a new result or breakthrough, immediately you can report, and it's widely reported or accepted. You have succeeded in your research. And one thing is, you should not be afraid of reviewer comments. And the first time when you get the review comments, you read it, you personally, you feel shocked. Anyway, I did not get any review comments for my paper, which I published in 74. I sent within 3 months. Those days, only you can send by sea mail. Air mail was very expensive, sea mail. And within 3 months, it came back, the acceptance from a very big shot in manufacturing, Konigsberger, those who know the name. That's all. But subsequently, you used to get reviews, and all the reviews must be considered positively. In fact, they enhance the, your quality of your publication. You should take it positively. Not that, oh, you are criticizing my work. You address that criticism, then you come out of it. You are successful. But most of the youngsters, they are not tuned. Any youngster, you say, why are you doing this? Why didn't you do this? No, this is the way I do. I cannot do anything more. No. Take the criticism positively, and if you have a good publication, you can have your collars up. Of course, ladies, I don't know. All of you can have your collars up and walk around. That's the kind of pride you can enjoy. Now, having done the research work, first you have to write, you need some, even to do research, you need creativity. This is some topic which people don't touch at all, because very difficult to define what is creativity. But we can understand, we can feel That much we know. Oh, that person is more creative than this person. But we won't, on our own we will not be creative. Okay. So, is it born, inborn, or it's acquired quality? Question which cannot be answered. Don't try to answer. Inborn. If you say so, I will not be standing here. Okay. Everybody is born equally, but the way they acquire, look at the outside world, look at the experiences, they develop creativity. So, it is not a born quality. This is a way we say, oh, born in this, we are destined to be like this, we are destined to end like this. No, you can achieve. It's all your work, hard work. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Genghis Khan. I don't think this generation would have seen that movie. You know what? Who is Genghis Khan? Mongolian warrior and king. You know, in his childhood, how he was brought up? As a slave with a stone around his neck, so that his freedom is curtailed up to age of 12. Then he broke the ring. Not only this, he broke everything and became the king, greatest warrior. The movie is Umar Sharif. I still remember, got an award, Umar Sharif. He says, all is this. I mean, all is in your hand. That's the kind of confidence, you can get from that kind of a historical person. So, it is not inborn, it is acquired. You can develop. See, that is the attitude you need. Okay. But then, where is the occasion to develop? As a child, do you have the occasion? Now, you are at home with both the parents working, none to look for. A daycare center, I don't think it's a place where you develop any creativity. The present situation. In schools, at least, do you have an opportunity to develop creativity? Your teachers will tell you, you read, memorize, reproduce. Verbatim. If there is a small dot, you put the dot. If there is a small fly died on the paper, edichan copy. Okay. And any essay writing, don't worry. There is a guide. In our days, you can read it. Now, you have Google Uncle. You can turn to Google Uncle, key in any topic, gives you a vague essay. And now chat GP, please, it can only work within the limit. Human creativity can go beyond that. That is what you should remember. I will depend on the chatbot and refine it. The moment you get that essay or anything, your attention gets fixed. You will not come out of it. I can tell you my own experience. You can think aloud and then you can come with a variation which even AI cannot reproduce. AI has its limitation. What it does, it stores whatever information is already available. Creativity is not repealing from what is available. Creativity is about generating new ideas, generating new, that no AI can do, only you can do. So, what you do is you just sit, think about what you have to write and start writing. Don't refer to chatbot or whatever is that, I don't get the name also. And is the coaching centers are helpful, competitive like JEE coaching centers or anything? They are more like concentration camps. They are much worse than the school to get into JEE. And colleges, they are not any different. Any lab report, First thing your teacher will tell, take your senior's report. This is the best report. You take this, copy. And you start copying, okay, without even reading through. You can always skip, no? You brain from eye to hand, eye to hand. So, where do you really develop this creativity? Now, this is a question. None of the places you can look for. You cannot look to your parents, you cannot look to your teachers, but suddenly you have to create new things. I leave it to you. But this process is not just, okay, let me switch on my creative machine at 9 o'clock in the morning, switch it off by 4 o'clock and be creative. No, it should be right through. Even in your sleep, this should go on. And research also is like that. Sir Visvesvaraya makes a comment, you can't just switch it on, sorry, Sir C.V. Raman, you can't just switch it off by 9 o'clock and switch it on off by 5 and expect the output. It's a continuous process. Even when you are sleeping, anywhere this will go on unless you suppress it. Okay, you don't suppress anything. Okay, now ethical practices. There are certain ethical practices to be followed, and as a scholar, you have the responsibility. As a technical guide, research guide, he also has a responsibility. There are people who submit the same paper to 5 different journals. I came across such one person. Said, why are you doing it? Said, different journals take different times. So whatever comes first, that's good for me. I can, my resume can be updated. Then I asked other question. What will you do if the other journal also accept? I am very happy, sir. I get for one paper 2 publications. I said, that's a ultimate crime in a research. You cannot submit it to more than one journal because you have to say manuscript is not published fully or partially anywhere else, and reuse of material to avoid hint of text checking. Self-plagiarism is also not really allowed. Self-plagiarism means from your own paper, I am author of this paper, let me reproduce it. No way. I'll give you a small example. I am writing a book and I have solved a problem in one of the journal publications. I just wanted to take that example and reproduce. I wrote to the publisher saying that can I take that table for my book. Immediately front desk says you pay $200. I said, if I am the person who can generate that problem which was published, can I not generate another problem? Why should I spend $200 for my work? This is how the world goes. The work of yours is no longer yours because you have already given your copyright to your publisher. Please remember. Okay. So that brings us to another question which I will address later on. And there are now, that is another trend now, one work giving several outputs. Okay, one output you publish one paper, another output I publish another paper. To give you an example, engineering example, you machine a component. There is a surface finish, there are certain associated things, dimensional variation, etc. For each one of them, you publish a paper, which is called a salami publication. It's a common work, which is also not ethically correct. Okay. Somehow it has come into practice. And data should not be fabricated or manipulated. Okay. You know the trend? You sit in the room and start generating the data, or take a data already available, put plus or minus some figures. Okay. If there is 70, make it 72. If it is 85, make it 83. Okay. That is exactly, it can be detected easily. Anybody who is in the field, no text or no data, text or theories by others are presented, as if they are author's own. You cannot present any data as if it's author's own. You have to, proper acknowledgement must be given, and in fact, this includes material that is closely copied or near verbatim. Even if you take a sentence from a published paper, you have to pay heavily. And quotation marks can be used for verbatim copying of material, but permission must be secured. Even if you put within quotes, there is an impression among researchers that if you copy, you put a reference, that copying is erased. No, copy is copy. You put a quote, even then it's a copy. You have to get permission. Certain journals give permission for academic use. You can go to their journal site and say this is for academic use. What is academic use? Other than commercial use. Okay. For your own degree, you can do, but better be, this is where you need a proper guide. So, plagiarism is extensive copying of the material of other authors, misappropriating results and data with minor changes, publishing essentially the same information more than once. But then now there are actions proposed, such as debarring from publishing in the journal concerned. It should deter the people, but people are not really deterred by this. Intimating heads of the department or institution, couple of occasions it has been done, not by me, but some other publishers. Publicizing such incident of plagiarism, this has come in an indirect way now in terms of retraction of papers. I don't know how many of you have seen this retraction of paper. Just put Google search retraction of paper, put your college there. Immediately the paper's titles come. It is worse than rejection, and because it is hanging, it will be in their site. Anytime you open, it says this paper has been retracted. Who are the people? The names are there. It's very difficult to wash off this. It's like police station. If you go, there will be a big board and say these are the pickpockets. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you have not gone to police station. At least in the movie you would have seen. Okay. Please avoid retraction. Retractions are for various reasons, including plagiarism. Of course, for editorial reasons they may retract. That's a different issue. They might have changed the policy. They say according to the present policy it is retracted. But retraction based on any of the comments, plagiarism, self-plagiarism, etc., is undesirable. So, this is being considered by National Institute of Science, Communication and Information very seriously, going to be implemented in several colleges, including universities. Anna University also thinking of certain steps where the research scholar as well as the guides will be held responsible. Okay. This is an induction program for Anna University. Hope I have the liberty to tell them. Okay. Now, the research is all about this in a simple way, the whole research. I don't know how many of you have seen this snorkeling in sea water. Snorkeling, there is a small stick around and the swimmer only swims on the surface. He can take the oxygen from the air easily. This is called snorkeling and it's a surface level exploration. So, if you are doing surface level exploration, this is what you are doing, but if you want to do deep level exploration, in depth, you have to really go for scuba diving, where see the nature under the sea. This would not have seen when you are on the top. So much wealth is there, but you can't do it alone. You need a guide. You need all the peripherals. You need all the ancillaries to go deep sea. Don't say, let me go to the depth. Beyond 300 feet, you will die. Okay. So, you need somebody trained the importance of guides and supervisors I am trying to bring out. So, the relation between the guide and the research scholar is something unique. You can't say it is like father, son, father, nothing. It is a unique relation which should be nurtured. How you do it, it's up to you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, this is only introduction part. Oh, I don't know how much time. Now, 11:40. These are the main introduction already covered. I have certain subfolders: technical paper writing, revision of technical paper, technical seminar, and thesis writing, revision of thesis. Then additional item just for a break. These are not, some conversation within research scholar and myself, and there is a comedy script. Unfortunately, it's in Tamil. There is also a song which is in Tamil. Okay, so tell me. Now I have a menu. I have a main menu. I also have a intermediate drinks. I will also have some water. What do you want? Given the option, I want to see what you select. After all this throat drying presentation, my throat is dried out. Tell me, what do you want? The bottom are soft drinks, you can avoid. I think among all of us on the previous presentation I saw there are 14 presentations, if my count is correct, they would have given you the all these tips. You would have now become saturated. I tell you, I really feel pity that with all the bombardments from this so far speaker and going to follow, you would have become saturated. Yes or no? Definitely somebody would have talked about how to write a paper, what mistakes you should not do. Any? Anyway. Which topic you want? You are not able to select even the topic. Huh? Yes. Let me see what is 5. Sorry, I don't remember. Hey, she hit the nail on its head. Congratulate her. That was in my mind also. But you are the only one to think that my final aim is to get a doctorate degree. That means I should be able to write a thesis which is acceptable. All other things fall in place. Okay? I go with 5. Ultimately, that's what counts. Okay. Now, just to give an idea what the thesis contains. Since you are just coming in, I am trying to give you this. Not for those who already got a degree. There is a title page which is important, which tells you what is the topic that you are researching and researcher's name and university. You will not find the guide's name in the front page. Guide is not a contributing person. It is the research scholar who is writing the thesis. Guide is only a supervisor within quote. Okay? you will not find. In some universities, they do also include guides, but in IIT, we don't include the guide's name. Where does it come? Thesis certificate. This is where the guide has to say the work has been carried out under my guidance by so and so, and it has not been submitted to any other university for award of degree. Okay. Then it has abstract, keywords, acknowledgement, list of figures, it's all pre-pages, list of tables and list of abbreviation, acronyms, and list of nomenclature. All of them have to follow before the chapter starts. Okay. This you may not have in a technical paper writing. Technical paper, you don't give this pre-pages. Okay. Chapters. Generally, we give introduction as a first chapter, and in my practice, I don't like the scholars to give literature survey as a chapter 2. The reason is that it is not their work. They are only reviewing what has been done. It's a survey. So it forms, it's my practice. There are technical guides, research guides who give as a chapter 2 to increase the number of chapters, but you should be precise in giving the literature survey and the research gaps and objectives and scope out of this research gap, and thesis outline, what can be expected. This must be in the introduction. There could be slight variation. As I told you, we all live in a world of variability. Okay. I am giving a pattern which I follow, but it doesn't mean that to give a variability, don't write conclusion first and introduction last. Oh no, don't do that kind of a ulta things. Then experimental details or theoretical approach that is followed. I am making it very general because of the mixed nature of the audience. Analysis and experimental validation, this is very important. If it is a theoretical work, you need validation. If it is analysis, yes, and results and discussion. Summary, conclusion, should have summary, short summary, conclusion, and also what is the important contribution which makes you entitled to a degree of Doctor of Philosophy. This is where the philosophy is emphasized again. A conclusion will not justify. What is an important contribution? And any work cannot end with your work. It should have future scope. If you say that's all, it's all over, I have saturated, nothing more can be done, I think it's not a research at all. There's much more to be done. What you have done is a part of it, for which you are claiming a Doctor of Philosophy degree or in MS by research. And there must be small introduction in each chapter, which many people miss. Already I have given an introduction. This is introduction to the thesis. But each chapter requires an introduction to have a continuity. The continuity is maintained by this introduction and conclusion and going to the next chapter introduction. A thread should go. Okay. It's like music. You can have discrete notes or you can have continuously varying note. Okay. So it should smoothly follow. And appendix. Some of the information, very voluminous informations, you don't put in the thesis because when you read, it will be a distraction. Computer listing, not at all needed. If it is needed, push it to appendix. Appendix is there and not there. You know what is appendix? Okay, your body also has an appendix. Okay, whether it should be there or not, but it tells you the kind of amount of work you have carried out. Don't suppress it. Study you have done, just show. But don't give prominence. Writing a listing, coding is not really a research contribution. Given an algorithm, X can write a code, Y can write a code. And references and publication based on the research work. This is where I want to do. Again, we are coming back to publication based on the research work, which we call it as visible research output. What happens if there are multiple authors? Now there is a tendency to include even the people who meet you on the station, bus stop, everybody as a co-author. Sorry to say, are they authors? Who are the authors? In fact, same IIT Bombay I had to go back to those days. The supporting staff asked the professor in charge, sir, your scholars are doing research, they are publishing papers, we are helping them, but we don't get any name, no credit. Should they not become authors? The mechanic who fabricates something for you, can he become an author? Or the typist, those days we have to type the paper. Will he become the author? Who are the author? Who should be the author? Crisp question. Tell me who could be the authors. Who is carrying out the work? And he is also carrying out the work, typing. Simple rule. If that work can be done by somebody else by hiring for payment, that person cannot become an author. Simple. So you have to simplify the rules. What you are repeating, okay, whoever carries out the work, then the person will claim that why carry out the work? In some places, if you are taking your luggage with you, you have to pay porter charges. You know that? It's for looking at the luggage, no kukuli. Okay. So if the work can be done by somebody else on payment, he cannot become an author. If your testing of the material can be done by some agency, you don't have to acknowledge the lab and the lab in charge. Okay. It's a very strict rule. Depending on the organization, it varies. There are people who start from the lab head, section head, go to the director level and put all of them as co-authors. I don't approve of it, because the reason is that if any one of them is asked to explain what is in this paper, you know what they will say? I don't know, somebody down the line published, I have no answer. Then consciously they should say, I am not the author. They should have the guts to say, I am not the author. My own students, after they got their PhD degree, they said, sir, in future publication, you want to use your name as a co-author. I said, no, you cannot, because I don't know what is being put there. I have not participated. Otherwise, my publication would have gone to 400, 500. I said, no, I am what I do, what I have done, that's all. And I will be co-author for that work. Even when the student does, I go through the paper thoroughly, and my contribution will be there in every page, every line. So I am a co-author, but I cannot lend my name just to increase the publication. What I am saying is, you have to safeguard everything. The consequence is that if you allow other people to also come in as authors, if one of them happens to be another co-researcher, then the question comes, how do you share this credit? Can the content of the paper be included in your thesis or in his thesis? In his or her thesis? Sorry. Question, answer me. There is one guy, two research scholars publishing a paper, simple situation. And in the thesis, which one will go as X contribution. Which one will go as Y contribution? Can you split vertically? Can you split horizontally? Dispute starts. I have faced myself, not in my case, some other faculty member faced. I have to sit and then sort out, this must be used by him, this must be used by him, don't refer to this in that thesis, don't refer to this in this thesis. Arbitration. I don't think you like the situation. If your work is to be published, if you are an author, no, you can be very straightforward in this respect. And you want the result, and it should be your thesis in your thesis. No, because when I come to this publication, this is what comes to my mind. Many people don't understand. This is a case of two co-researchers from the same university under the same guide. There are people who take somebody from China, somebody from Thailand, somebody from a place. I wonder how they come together and write a paper. At the end, acknowledgement, contribution, if you see, all authors have equally contributed. I don't know how many of you have seen the published paper. There will be a author's contribution, conflict of interest, blah, blah, blah. Just one contribution alone, all authors contributed equally. Tomorrow, if you question it, you are in trouble. You have to be selfish. As far as research is concerned, there is no generosity. You can give 1 rupee or 10 rupees or 100 rupees, but not your personal work. Hope I am somewhat clear. Hope I am not harsh. Okay. I am logically presenting things to you. That's all, nothing beyond that. I am not against X or Y or Z. Don't give your work to somebody else. And multiple institutions, multiple nations, I don't know, I am not able to understand. Even two research scholars are not able to meet together. Taking from China and Thailand and putting them together, it looks nice. Anyway, one day there will be investigation. There are certain publications which are going through investigation, publishers are doing it. I am not at liberty to do, but they have pointed out. We are also cautious, okay, about these practices, nothing beyond this. So, as an editor, I am supposed to keep confidential certain things, okay. How stuck it? We have discussed this. Common mistakes in thesis. Battery எதில் மாற்றணும்? என் கையில் இருந்தால் easy because I want to control this. Right. என்ன பார்த்து எல்லாம் ஒரே back go back. Yeah. Is it all right? Center பண்ணி தான் போகிறேன். See, the common mistake is you want to somehow fill up the thesis. So many pages you should have. Page is not important. There is a person called Hertz. I don't know how many of you have seen Hertzian stress. Mechanical engineers will know. Half a page. That's all the thesis. Thesis doesn't mean that it should be bulky. Many people think that bulkier it is like a pillow. Quality is higher. No, the quality is inside. Okay, so reproducing all the standard things, what is ANN, what is RSM, etc., is not really the thing. And routine work with no novelty, no innovation. And the literature survey is presented taking one paper each, giving 4 lines for each. The logical connectivity is not there at all. X did this, Y did this, and finally at the end, it is seen that work carried out in the present research has not been reported in the by others. Simple one statement. Just list some of them. What has not been done, that you have to bring out specifically. Okay? And routine work with no novelty. There are some authors who say, you have published this particular paper with certain material, certain process, and it got accepted. I have sent you the same presentation paper in which same material, same process, everything has been done. Why are you rejecting it? Do you follow the question? Identical paper I sent to you, you accepted first, now you are rejecting. Why? Answer is in the same question. Why are you rejecting it? It's the same paper, cannot be accepted again. So knowing very well, they want to raise logically some dispute. Why are you rejecting it? The same paper was published in your journal in such an issue. You are unfair. But they don't think that they will meet me elsewhere. All those fellows I met in some other place as a selection committee selector. So what to do? The world is small, it's a circle, so what you throw will come back to you. And without this, okay, so you have to be really careful in how the literature survey must be written. In fact, I wrote this paper nearly after 35 years of experience, a review paper. And again, when you say review paper, it should be continuity. And I have myself heard some chairperson of college asking their staff, faculty, now that you have started your research, 1 year is over, why don't you write a review paper at least? Looks very interesting, no? You must have done literature survey, why don't you write a review paper? Literature survey is different from a review paper. Review paper is written by people who are authorities in the subject. And a scholar who has just started the work, if he writes a review paper, what will be the quality of that paper? I leave it to your imagination. His experience will come in. His guide is not going to sit and put his experience. No. And people don't know the difference between a literature survey and a review paper. Review paper is written by authorities in the subject. In fact, there used to be a critic, I don't remember the dance critic, who used to sit in the sabhas and pass critical comments. People were really afraid of him. His name is a very nice name. I am not able to recollect. So he is an expert in music, Subbu. Okay. That kind of mastery knowledge they should have. Okay. So because this is very important, review for the purpose of thesis, literature survey cannot be a review paper. It has to be higher level. And some researchers, what they do is, they publish number of papers. When it comes to writing a thesis, they don't have patience. They don't have time to connect them, because each one is a rose. One is jasmine, another one is shamanti. Okay? They put each one as a chapter, and the ugliest part is, each paper has an introduction. That will also come here. So every chapter has a long introduction. I said introduction is must, that is to bridge the gap. But this kind of presentation, where each paper is submitted as a chapter, you will find that 10 chapters have 10 long introductions. In fact, I made a very strong comment. It looked like a creature with multiple heads. Ugly. Okay. Can you imagine a creature with multiple heads? All heads are round. So, should not be done. Connectivity between chapter and next chapter. This is another important thing where you have to start introduction and chapter end should not be abrupt. Person should know what is expected next. Nowadays in TV serial also they started showing Nale or no, tomorrow something they show. That tomorrow will be only after a week also. But it doesn't matter. There's a hint for the people to comparison results already published in research missing. The reason is we are the first to carry out the work, so we have no comparison possible. Do you believe? Why you are not compared with others' research work? Reason given is we are the first one to do. There is no comparison possible. Is it so in a research? You tell me honestly. We are keeping quiet. I am the first person to do, so I have no comparison. It's my contribution, I cannot compare. No research work starts abruptly, it has continuity. Okay, some work would have been done, only thing is you are not understood their work to integrate with your work. So, escapism is to make a statement, we are the first people to do, no comparison is possible. Please. Conclusion. Conclusion, they simply give the observation as conclusion, summary of work, observation, or whatever is in the abstract, you reflect it. Abstract to do this work, in conclusion, we have done the work. Like in your physics experiment, you give aim. Aim of the experiment is to measure the resistance of the given wire. Blah, 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 all those things you write from the previous thing. Conclusion, resistance of the wire is measured. You know, that's not a conclusion that can come from the research work. And sometimes including the copyrighted information in the thesis without taking their own, including their own paper. But this is again one small difference. In US universities, thesis is published, submitted first. After the degree only, they are allowed to publish from the research work. When they look at our thesis, some of the things are already published. So, the comment from US examiners are that it appears that information has been already published. How can we award a degree for this work? It's a small misunderstanding. Okay. Do you see the difference? Their pattern of publishing is different from our pattern. Why we publish during the research is that to get that confidence, also to, in a way, to avoid resistance from the examiners. Already work has been published, so please look at it from merit's point of view. Okay, little bit of arm twisting only, but do not do too much. So, examiners are also having self-pride. It is a bit of arm twisting which we do, and when we write to them saying that this is what is our practice, they accept. And since it is not coming in the reference, we can always say we should not put the published paper. There are some people who put the published paper in the references and then cite them. No, in a thesis, you cannot cite your own reference, published paper. Should be included as a visible output only. Okay. Yeah, publication based on the research are given in the references. So, these are the visible outputs. So, what comes from what? You have to be very, very clear. And sometimes some researchers put all their published paper at the end of the thesis, saying that this is not available in public domain, or it has been removed, discontinued. They themselves agreeing that this is not a reputed journal. Reputed journals will have longer life. Okay? Generally, we look for the publication with volume numbers higher. If volume 1 and 2, we know it is just born yesterday. We look for this longevity, and anything which exists for more than 10 years, we can say reasonably it is well established. That's all. And if it is removed from the public domain and discontinued, that means you have not chosen the proper journal and your work has not been projected properly. Yeah. There are some people who say, whatever is a form, time is running out, you submit now. Let the examiners give his views. Then we will revise the thesis. Nice, no? But the danger is, if they give rejection, what will you do? If they give revision, you feel happy. Sometimes they can even reject. Then you have lost the battle. Never take a chance. And your wholehearted thing, effort must be put in writing a good thesis, because this is only one time possession for you. Lifelong, you keep this and you show to others. By the way, I also, when I go for a selection committee, I'll ask for the thesis copy. Many of them don't bring. I said, how am I to look at your work? Sir, I have published paper. Okay, show me. Some of them even don't show the published papers. They are shy. Why? If you have done the work, if you have the pride, why don't you? In fact, for my professor interview, I carried my thesis. My thesis as well as my student thesis. Anything they can pull out, ask me. Each and every page I know. That's my confidence level. So they don't even carry, and they don't feel proud about its position. And a good quality thesis from any university, this is true in US also. You may do work, a PhD in MIT, but still not do a good work, good thesis, bring out a good thesis, your employment opportunity is lost. At the same time, you may do in any other lower level university, second level university, produce a good thesis, you get even employment in MIT. They go by the work, not by the universities from which you come, not by the supervisor or that guide, research guide. So that means you have all the responsibilities for successful research or not so successful. So you are the master. Now, these are the benefits. You have good thesis, you will be invited as expert by other colleges, professional bodies, you can enjoy good reputation among the colleagues. Okay. My own scholars are everywhere. They say, sir, IIT training, and that too they say, your training. I don't take it to the heart. But only thing is, for all this, they introduced me as a monster to their family. So when I visit them, they come around eagerly look for the monster. Oh, you are the person who guided my dad. Or so what to do? That's a danger in the professional life. When you are tough, they say I am tough, I don't know. And if you have done good work, then even students will come to you and join under you. So it has lot of benefits. One work, you have several benefits. But so please concentrate on this research and then complete your work. Thank you. You have 3 minutes. Yeah, the results, see what she is asking is the comparison with other results. For your independent work, you would have got certain results, certain variations in the results. And the other researcher would have done, may not be the same material, but the process may be same. But the material property, if you can match out and say this is a material with a weak thermal conductivity, I am just giving you. So that is why the results are slightly lower than us. Some kind of a comparison, scientific comparison, not just oral comparison. It is less, it is more. You have to compare in a scientific way. That is possible if you are a researcher in the area. When you are thinking about this all through your day and night, it will occur to you. Most of the things come to me in my dream, sleep only. I don't know, my mind doesn't sleep, looks like that. So morning when I get up, the solution is there. Okay. But only thing is, if you try to load the mind, in fact, I forgot to tell you one thing. When you are looking for a guide or so, you will be really confused as to what to really, or which one to take as a guide. You can take anybody as a guide. As far as in your inner conscious, if you keep that person in you awake, he will guide you through. So there is a person residing in you. You call it as subconscious mind, or these people call it as what? Manasiga Guru. It all residing in you. Only thing is you suppress him by some way, by putting some alcohol or putting something. No, don't do. Sir, if you do 3 times, he will never pop up. So your subconscious mind is really the Guru, and if you can understand this, there is a song which I have, but it's in Tamil. Can I play that song? That song one podu, because we have to end with a song. I have brought so many additional items for you. MP3 la irukku.
There are 500 online participants.
I can invite questions.
There is also some questions from them. We'll take some.
Okay. Hope the song plays well. What song is that? You can guess, keep guessing. MP3 varma varada. Song pa, Tamil script illa, song ne potirupen. Song. It is also very carefully selected, free download only, because
உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் உலகத்தில் போராடலாம், உயர்ந்தாலும் தாழ்ந்தாலும் தலை வணங்காமல் நீ வாழலாம். உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை
I think the 4 lines convey the essence of the whole thing. It is from Tattva Kavi Kannadasar, great poet from Tamil. He has crisply captured this. I think now people are sorry, the language is a little different, but you can see others getting excited. That's what means. Okay. All the best. Anyway, questions are there. Anything from the floor? No.
Sir, what are the activities we have to do for trigger the creativity? What are the activities we have to do, especially for PhD scholar, to stimulate or trigger the creativity, which is the very essential. Whether I have to gone through or fully travel with the theory paper or experience means in my field, my field is engineering. Whether I had gone fully concentrate in experience or construction or theory,
Yeah.
which is the best one to stimulate the creativity? That is the main reason
See,
to ask you.
creativity comes when you are trying to repeatedly do things. In fact, I used to tell, even the person who sweeps the floor, he can be creative because he does it in a certain way, and to really do it perfectly, he or she will invent their own ways. So if don't change the feet, your own feet, go deeper, you will find. And then what you do is, when you are writing the paper, never take others' paper, keep it on your lap, and then start typing from that. One sentence from here, one sentence here. No, I have seen in one of the colleges, they were all sitting before the terminal with the paper on the lap. I said, what are they doing? They are writing their thesis, writing their MTech dissertation. I said, what is it? Read it, keep it aside, produce from your own thinking. So initially it will be tough. For one day you will not even write 10 lines, doesn't matter, only one day. Then subsequently you will find that you read, you capture, produce in your own words, and that way you avoid plagiarism also, many things, and it is going through not just eye to brain and brain to hand. No shortcuts. If you want shortcuts from me, I am not the person. I cannot give you a shortcut. There is no shortcut to success. You ask Tendulkar, he will say in a different way. No shortcuts. Yes, sir.
Sir, how do you call a thesis as a good thesis, sir? So you have given the list of common mistakes to avoid. So if I say that if I avoided all those mistakes, my thesis can be considered as a good thesis.
Definitely, definitely. If you avoid all these mistakes, your thesis will be rated high. Not just one person, anybody who sees a thesis, yes. See, good things people can identify easily. Where people get confused is the borderline cases. Bad things also they identify easily. But the borderline cases, with one small effort, you can take it to the top level. And let it be borderline, let me get a PhD, borderline PhD, it's up to you.
Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Thank you, sir, for the
Thank you.
presentation.
Okay, good that you raised the point.
Okay. I want to know, you said earlier that you cannot cite your own reference. What if you are writing in your thesis? So if you are writing a manuscript, is it allowed that you can cite that later? The question is, you said you can't cite yourself in your thesis. So after the thesis, you are writing a manuscript for publication. Can you cite yourself in that?
Okay.
Writing a paper, same content there in the thesis, why you are not accepting? Paper level content, thesis.
In our university it's allowed. Only in US university, some universities have this practice. But in our universities, you can publish and include it, but not in the reference as a visible output. The content can be reflected in the research, in the chapters. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Two different practices are there. I just wanted to mention.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can you read this?
Sir, sir, here, sir. Sir. How does a technical writing differ from other forms of academic or professional writing?
The professional and technical mean the same thing. What I understand is, the technical writing is more structured. It has certain background in that particular domain. Whereas in case of other professional writing, if I say maybe it's a novel or historic novel, in fact, when I talk about, these are things, when I talk about historic novel, only one name comes to my mind. Any guess? There was a movie also, Shivagami in Sabadam, Kalki, okay? And every week this used to come in the week, it was a weekly magazine. We look forward to the next week to read this. And Kalki, he traveled to all these parts, historical spots. He didn't sit in his room and then try to get the information from documents. He traveled, he felt the vibration, which you and I will not be able to do, professional right. He felt the vibration and brought up the characters in real through his writing. Of course, you have to know Tamil to read this, and fantastic. So that is professional writing, but everything is experience based. If ultimately it is experience based, whether it's a technical work or it's a historical novel or it is a, of course, fiction is completely a different ball game. You travel in an unknown world and try to find out, okay. So I am not a writer in the way, okay. I am a technical person writing thesis only, okay.
So second question from the online participants. What techniques help maintain reader interest in a technical document? What techniques help maintain to keep the interest of the reader in a technical document?
This is a very interesting question. If you can bring in your experience indirectly, even the technical writing can be, the quality can be enhanced. I'll give you an example. Of course, I cannot go away from engineering example. So we were trying to make tools, press tools for a precision manufacturing. So one day, my research scholar is from industry. He kept a pin in a hole and then kept it in the overnight in the AC room. Next day he was trying to pull out. It didn't come out at all. Then when we started investigating this is exactly due to the thermal phenomena. So when we reported this development of the tool, we included that experience which nobody else can include. But again, you don't have to create artificially this kind of experience. Please, again, don't overdo this. I slept in the night, I got this, and parallelly you don't draw something. It should be your own experience. If you can bring it into your writing, it gives life. Otherwise, technical content is boring. I understand, I agree. I take this, I did this, we got the result, etc. But your experience where things can go wrong, where it can be corrected, that nobody gives. I took the experiment, I did this. In fact, one of the conversation, my research scholar used to ask me, why are you not giving the details about experiments? You know the answer? Sir, nobody is giving, sir. You are only asking me to give all the details. Do you suspect me that I have not done the work? No, it goes in that direction. I said, no. It's a female candidate, so I had to say, no, I didn't mean that, okay. But your experience in conducting the experiment, it's not getting reflected. It's only number. In fact, the data that you get, there is no life in the data. There is no science in the data unless you give experience. Data science, I don't know that word, data science. Data has no life and science is something different. Anyway, no comment.
Sir, actually, recently we have seen that publication done in a different language like Chinese and French. So how to do the literature survey if some work they did in the other language?
If it is published in other languages, there is a translator available. Okay, Google Translator, you can use that. I got into trouble by anyway. One of my students, so after those days we have to write the thesis manually and then only get typed. And typing is on a cello, that paper, cyclostyling paper. So after all this, I just gave him a type. He put one reference, German paper, into the reference without telling me. I didn't say, because once it is given, then thesis went to a person in UK who had actually undergone Humboldt Fellowship training in Germany for 5 years. He knew German language so well. He's a correct person only technically, but he said only citing one German paper is not adequate. These are the papers which you have to cite, okay, related papers. Then I said, German language. I attended only 2 classes of German, one spoken English, but I know the root words, the way they get split up, and dictionary also I have. Then first para alone, with great difficulty, I try. That fellow comes, hey, why did you do that? Name is not important. He just simply says, sir, you save me. This is exactly, you save me, I have put it, and then you face it. Why don't you get it translated? Getting translated, a paper translated into English is not that easy. You have to pay. Then I read para by para with my language understanding, but could make up. Only thing is, technical thing is easy. Had it been humanities subject, I would have been floored. So I could translate, and then he got his degree. So that reminds me, if anything from other language, if you are taking, please get the translation done through this and record it on what day you did this. Again, when you are accessing the websites, you should download with the date and time, because it will disappear after some time. And mostly the downloaded informations are not scientifically that acceptable. Any printed information, yes. So give little less importance to the downloaded versions and other language things. But you have to, if you are citing it, you have to cite all the papers in Chinese language. Will you be able to do? Better avoid. Don't, yeah.
Last question, sir. Sir, is it good practice to include all the mistakes happened during the research work as part of our thesis?
No. You have to be very careful. Where people have to be cautious, that is all you have to be include. Don't list all the mistakes that you did. That becomes a bad documentary. To the extent possible, don't bring in negative things. Same thing can be reflected as a positive statements. Okay. When I say experiences, you have to be careful. Certain experiences we cannot share publicly. No? You are asking me something. We would have gone so many experiences. Can you share everything publicly? He is asking unnecessary hypothetical question.
Those who ask question, please come forward to get the book.
That lady out there, she deserves definitely a book for opening up the discussion. All the best. No. You are from electronics, eh?
Sir, what is this department? Government of Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu,
I
good.
am working as assistant executive engineer.
Very good. Oh, great.
Thanks.
நீங்க என்ன பண்றீங்க?
Ocean technology scientist.
இங்கே
Chennai.
சென்னை எண்ணெய் போட்டி. ஓ, பள்ளிக்கரணை.
Pallikani.
ஓகே.
Thanks.
அப்புறம் இந்த பக்கம் லேடிஸ்க்குலாம் சில இதெல்லாம் கேட்டிருந்தாங்களே யாரோ. ஏம்மா நீ ரொம்ப இன்ட்ராக்ட். நீங்கள் இந்த பக்கம் ஓரா. This lady deserves.
Okay, those who have asked questions online, please send your address. We'll send it to the post. Okay, sir. Now it's our time.
Small memento on behalf of Center for Research.
2 hours ಆಯ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ
Okay. So, formal vote of thanks for Professor.
பண்ணுங்க
அரும்பயன் ஆயும் அறிவினார் சொல்லார் பெரும்பயன் இல்லாத சொல். The wise who weigh their worth refrain from words that have no grain of worth. So I understood the real meaning of this Tirukural today, sir. All the words said by you were very useful for us. There are two ways by which you can create something, either by addition or by subtraction. If you want to create a doll, a mud doll, clay doll, we can take clay, we can add it to the mold, and then we get a clay doll. Or if I want to create a stone statue, we can take a stone, we can remove all the unwanted parts, and then you can create a stone statue. So professor, he said like what to add in your research paper, what to subtract in your technical writing. So he covered all the do's and don'ts. Thank you, Professor. Undoubtedly, I think this session is a great learning for all of us. On behalf of all the participants, I thank Professor for sharing his experience. Thank you once again, sir.